Now it's 4 minutes before 7. Sweat a lot. My t-shirt is wet. It's good, you know. It's wet. My glasses is now wet.
I've been thinking too much.
We listen to the news, 7 o'clock news soon. Now my head is wet.
I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much.
A friend of mine once said, your life can change with 3 little words. Looking good, man.
I love you.
You did well. I'm sorry. See? He passed an
Alhamdulillah.
accident recently. 3 deaths. And now all he can say is, it's my fault. I regret this. God, help me. Don't let it be too late for you. Slow down when the traffic light turns yellow and stop on red. Remember these 3 words. Stop on red. Playing your favorite music 24/7. Experience the excitement right here on Tracks FM.
Seven o'clock news.
Good evening and Salam Malaysia Madani. Kevin Francis with the news updates at 7 p.m. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim will hold a social dialogue with Kedah youth at the Langkawi Vocational College in Langkawi at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. The event is organised by the Ministry of Education. In a post on Facebook, Dato Sri Anwar said all are invited to participate in the dialogue, which will be held in a relaxed and open manner. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living KPDN Kedah branch has given its assurance that the supply of sugar is under control and is sufficient to meet the needs of consumers in the state. When contacted by Bernama Kedah KPDN Director Afendi Rajinikanth assured that consumers do not need to panic about the claims of a shortage of sugar supply in Kedah, as the state KPDN monitors controlled goods from time to time. He said that he had not received official complaints
also
about the
can
shortage
go
of supply of
jogging
sugar from
inside
consumers
the,
from many districts in Kedah, with
University,
only allegations through social media and
Islam
violations of the Control of Supplies
Antarabangsa.
Act 1961. The Perak government tabled the amendment to the state's poultry farming enactment today,
No,
which among other things increases the amount of
going
penalties and allows for the revocation of
jogging
licenses for
tomorrow
farmers
at
who fail to
Bandar
comply
Baru,
with the
Kuala
enactment.
Nerus.
State Rural Development, Plantation, Agriculture and Food Industry Committee Chairman
Because it's
Dr.
quite
Muhammad
far.
Zulkifli
Like
Harun said that the amendment to
you
Section
can
8
do
of the enactment,
over here
among other things,
in,
increases the maximum fine for
on
the
the
offence
weekend
of farming or operating poultry farms without a license from 10,000 ringgit to 50,000 ringgit. The Sabah government has proposed to the federal government to channel excess development allocations for the state into a trust fund. Chief Minister Dato Sri Haji Dinor said that this is to ensure that the allocations provided by the federal government for the use of development projects in Sabah do not expire if they cannot be spent in the current year. He added that the state government will monitor the allocation in the trust fund is used efficiently according to the purpose of the allocation. Dato Sri Hajiji said this in his reply to an oral question from MOIC Representative Dato Darrell Laking at the Sabah State Assembly sitting today. The date of the launch of the National Day and Malaysia Day 2023 that has been brought forward to this Saturday is aimed to allow relevant parties to better prepare for National Day on August 31st and Malaysia Day on September 16th. Information Department Corporate Communications and Media Division Director Dr. E. Sivabalan said the
Malaysia
celebrations
Day.
involve many parties. This includes private companies, government-linked companies and collaborations with associations and non-governmental organizations. He said this when speaking as a guest on RTM Selamat Pagi Malaysia program on TV1. Moving on to foreign news, Indonesia and Iran signed a trade agreement on Tuesday in Jakarta, where President Joko Widodo hosted his Iranian counterpart Ibrahim Raisi. According to the Indonesian Trade Ministry, under the pact, Iran will provide easier access for Indonesian exports, including vegetable oil, cocoa, coffee and tobacco. In return, Jakarta would lower tariffs on Iranian exports to Indonesia, including oil and its derivative products, minerals, chemicals and iron. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has pulled out all the stops on the campaign trail as he battles to survive his toughest political test yet and shield his legacy from an emboldened opposition. Turkey is headed for a runoff vote after Erdogan led over his opposition rival Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu during an election held on May 14th. However, he fell short of an outright majority to extend his 20-year rule
I
of
got
the
to check
NATO
my
member country.
tire.
Neither Erdogan nor Kılıçdaroğlu cleared the 50% threshold needed to avoid a second round, which is set to be held on May 28th. And finally, Qatar's energy minister warned that the worst is yet to come for Europe's oil and gas shortages, saying a warm winter had prevented greater difficulties in recent months. After Russia's invasion of Ukraine sparked an energy supply crisis, Europe dodged serious problems this past winter, largely because of milder than expected temperatures. But Qatari Energy Minister Saad Al-Kaabi and his Saudi counterpart, Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman, both warned that an energy crunch was looming. And that concludes the news updates for this hour, prepared by Kirtana Selvaraju. Stay tuned for more news updates at the top of 8. Thanks for listening, and Salam Malaysia Madani.
Now it's a very beautiful sunset over there. Weather is very wet now.
Kevin.